Every generation, different idea of what a classic movie is. What are some classic movies that you admire?
One of my best would be Footloose.
Tell me the story. What goes on in that movie?
Well, I mean, it's all about dancing.
Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
kid from the big city. He's from Chicago, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Chicago.
Then what happens to him?
I can't even remember. I didn't watch that movie in so long.
I don't want to tell you. So he goes to a small town in Colorado.
Right.
That's it. In wintertime, when you like to cocoon, stay at home, and be cozy by the fire, what's your preference, a book or a movie?
A movie.
A movie, and what kind of movies do you like?
I like horror movies and action movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite classic horror movie?
Probably like the Halloween movies, like
Okay.
Jason.
Tell me the story.
Tell you the story.
Yeah, because I've never seen him. So what's the story?
Oh, he was like a boy who drowned in Camp Crystal Lake when he was a kid at camp, and he comes back and kills all the campers and stuff.
And that's exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
You love that stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Josh, what's your preference in the wintertime when you're stuck in the house? Is it books or movies?
Movies.
And what kind of classic movie do you go for? What's your choice?
I like all genres, so I really can't say.
Well, tell me about one that you saw recently.
I like Teen Wolf. It's a bunch of vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. The kid Scott gets bitten and turns into a werewolf. It's kind of like a wolf mixed with a man.
Oh, okay. A man wolf.
Yeah.
And what's he do?
He tries to protect the city that he's in and the people that he cares about.
So he's kind of a superhero.
Kind of.
Do you read books? What's the last book you read?
Last book I read was probably Twilight, to be honest.
Oh, more supernatural creatures.
Yeah.
And you go for those guys.
Yeah, I pretty much go for the supernatural.
Well, if you could be one of those, vampire, werewolf, Frankenstein, what would you choose?
Probably a werewolf.
And why would that be? Runs fast.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, that's my answer. What would you say? What would you say?
They got sharp claws and they're huge.
Yeah.
And they got the really big teeth and they're just really cool.
If I'm by myself, it's a good book. If I'm with my family, it's a movie or board games.
Well, this is good news. Now tell me about the last book you read.
The last book I read was a long time ago. It seems like it was Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Tell me the story.
Gone Girl is about a man who gets framed for his wife's murder.
Oh my God.
And in truth, she framed her own murder to get away and live a different life. And it's very twisted. It became a movie with Ben Affleck, which was very good.
You became engrossed in this book because you have similar fantasies?
No. I have a wonderful husband. No, it was just a very well-written book. Caught my attention.
Tell me about a movie that you a classic movie. What's your favorite classic movie?
I have many favorite classic movies. Not a classic, but one of my very favorite movies is The Color Purple.
Okay. Tell me about that.
The Color Purple is, well, the movie starred Whoopi Goldberg and about a black woman's struggle with herself and family and her transformation into a young woman and then an older woman with a new family and how life doesn't treat you fairly, but it's all in how you deal with things.
That's perfect. Book or movie?
Movie, TV series, Departure.
Departures, right.
Yes, very good.
And it's about, who are these people? It's two people?
So two friends, they went to college together and they decided to take a year off from work, quit their jobs and travel the world. It's really, really interesting. It's a documentary. It's so good.
What do they do that appeals to you that you think you might want to try if you ever go there?
They went hiking to a lot of really nice places in Japan. That is something that I would be interested in.
It's some of the most beautiful country in the world.
It is beautiful. It is, yeah.
And that book you're reading, what's that called?
50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, now is this the first one that you
The
read?
last one.
The last one.
The last
So
one.
how's the last one? Have you read the others?
I have not actually. No.
So you started
I'm
at the
skipping.
end.
I started at the
You're
end.
skipping right to the end.
I am.
Happy ending? You haven't gotten there yet.
Haven't gotten there yet. The first couple chapters are pretty good though.
But they're married now.
They are married.
These
It's a little
lovers.
different, yeah.
So that's real different.
It is different. It's a good book though.
So they're never tempted to stray from their marriage is pretty strong. Secure so far? Or they have struggles with marriage?
Well, the trailer on TV, it looks pretty interesting. There might be some problems there, but I haven't gotten there yet in the book.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a book you're reading, though, not
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
You seen the movies?
No, I saw the trailer, which made me want to read
That's
the
the
book.
trailer, so it
That's why I'm starting from
Sent
the
you to
end.
the book.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You don't want to tell me about one episode, one something that happens in that book?
No.
Tell me, wintertime, you must be used to cold weather. It's too damn cold to go outside. What's your preference for indoor recreation, book or movie?
If it can't go outside, it's usually a movie. So
And-
now that we have Netflix in the house and this sort of thing, yeah. But on demand, we'll use that as well. So
Right.
so.
So who chooses the movies in the house when it's more than just you?
Well, it's just me and my wife, so we sort of compromise. We both have very similar likes. Most of the time, mysteries, whodunits, that kind of thing. But we like occasional. We like some of the superhero movies.
Can't get away from those.
No, and they've gotten so much better because those were the comic books I used to read when I was a kid. But I'd say most of them are mysteries, like I said, and the whodunits, this kind of thing.
What's something recent you saw made an impression on you?
All the Money in the World. It is about the Getty family when the grandson was kidnapped by a radical group in Italy. And my wife and I both remember when this took place. It took place in the 70s, and we had spent 3 years in Italy in the 70s as far I was in the military. So being able to remember back what took place in the grandfather's refusal to pay any kind of ransom until they cut off the grandson's ear and sent it to him, and the role the mother played, the father, and all this, it was very real. It was a true to life story, and it was we remembered it, but it also brought out some interesting things about the Getty Empire that a lot of people didn't know. So it was
Such
very
as
deep.
what's something that you learned about the Gettys?
The grandfather's empire was less in large amounts of cash or negotiable instruments, but it was more about the different assets he had, arts, for example, properties, this type of thing. So he was not really, he was one of the, if not the first, one of the first billionaires in the world. But most of that was tied up in physical assets and not negotiable instruments that he could get access to. So even trying to get a few $1 million could have been a challenge, but the story was well done, and Christopher Lee and Michelle Williams were absolutely tremendous in it.
Wintertime, favorite hot beverage?
In the wintertime, mine's still coffee. My wife likes hot chocolate.
What's the most fun you can have staying at home by yourself in the winter?
Oh boy!
I mean books or movies.
Books. That's something I keep myself entertained with.
You like books?
Yes.
What's the last good book that you read that you remember you can tell me about?
Right now I'm actually reading something on the gay civil rights movement in the 60s.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Tell me something. Tell me some facts about this movement.
It's actually in my bag. I can't think of the name of it. But it took place in New York City, and I believe it was a nightclub from what I'm reading. And actually, back then they didn't have any like homosexuals in movies, and if you were caught, they were either killing themselves or, it just wasn't brought out back then, and these people believed that it should have been brought out back then. So that's what I've gotten so far out of the book, and I haven't actually gotten into the riot yet. That's something I'm waiting to get into.
I like to read books, most of all books from like science fiction or books that are a mix of history and fiction.
Okay.
And yeah, that kind of books.
What's one of those books that you've read that you can tell me about?
For example, I don't know, I'm not sure the name in English, but I think it's Sophia's Word. It's a mixed between the history of philosophy and like a little girl that is learning about that. So
Right.
I like it. It's kind of crazy at the end. Is like she get a letter from someone, like a stranger, and she starts wondering who she is and what she wants for her life and a lot of things like that. So yeah.
Is that kind of like your life?
Maybe I think a lot of people wonder who they are. Yeah.
Right, right.
Think
You
so.
know who you are, right?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.